Okay, so we are going to take a look at some fractions here. We have 1/6, 1/4 or 1/4, and 1/3. And we want to think about how big are these fractions, because these fractions are not equivalent. Later, we will find equivalent fractions for each 1/6, 1/4, and 1/3. But right now, I want you to think about this circle diagram here and look at the pink part and see how small it is compared to over here, the blue part that's 1/4. So between 1/6 and 1/4, the shaded part of 1/6 is smaller than 1/4. Then let's move on and let's compare 1/4 to 1/3. Which one of the shaded part is smaller with those two shapes? I hope you said 1/4. So now you can actually see that out of all three of those fractions, 1/6 is actually the smallest. A little bit bigger is 1/4 and a little bit bigger is 1/3. So in these three unit fractions, as the denominator gets smaller, 6, 4, 3, the unit fraction actually gets larger. So we need to think about that, and we need to remember that 1/6 is smaller than 1/4, and 1/4 is smaller than 1/3. Okay, so let's think about those fractions again, and we're going to be finding equivalent fractions. First, take a look at the number line in front of us. Over here it starts at the 0. Then you can see where 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, and then you have a number 1 where 12/12 would be. So we're trying to find out the equivalent fraction of 1/6, what that would be in 12ths. So we're going to multiply by something. We don't know yet what it is yet because we have a blank box here. And we're going to find a new numerator for the fraction. So what do you think? We have to look at our denominators. We know we want to turn it into 12ths. We know it's currently 6. So what do we multiply by 6 to get 12? Something times 6 equals 12. I hope you came up with the number 2. If you did, you figured it out. Now that we know we need to multiply by 2, we're going to multiply our numerator of 1 times 2 equals 2. Then we've already figured out our denominator, and we now have our new fraction, 2 over 12. So 1/6 is equivalent to 2 over 12. All right, we're going to move on and find the equivalent fraction for 1/4 now. You can see on the number line that we've labeled where our 1/6 goes over here above 2/12. So now let's think about this one down here, 1/4. And we know that we have to multiply again by something to get 12. And we're looking at our denominators and we're thinking 4 times something equals 12. I hope you figured that it's the number 3. Okay, so we're going to take 1/4 and we're going to multiply it by 3. And we do that. We take our numerator of 1, multiply by 3, and we get a new numerator over here of 3. And our denominator, of course, is 12. So 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12. Okay, so you can see that we've got 1/6 labeled. We've got 1/4 label. We found the equivalent fractions for those. And now we're moving on to finding the equivalent fraction for 1/3. So we have to do the same process again, and we have to think 1/3. We know we're going to multiply by something to get to 12 because we're looking at our denominators. So what multiplied by 3 equals 12? I hope you got the answer of 4. So we take our fraction of 1/3, we multiply by 4. Our numerator of 1 times 4 gives us a new numerator of 4. And that's 4 over 12. So 1/3 is equivalent to 4 over 12. We look at our number line one more time. We can see where all these equivalent fractions go. 1/6 is equal to 2/12. 1/4 is equal to 3/12. And 1/3 is equal to 4/12. So you get a chance now to figure out some new numerators and convert some fractions into 12ths in your activities today.